anything but careful and politically correct when it comes to your writing. Like you've been reading the notes. मैं आपसे पहला सवाल ये करना चाह रही थी कि जब आपने 20 साल पहले एक विजन के साथ इस पब्लिकेशन को शुरू किया, I'm sure that there was pressure. यानी we generally write to please people, or we write what is going to not, rub them the wrong way. Was that also a concern when you started this publication?
Not really. I wanted to write the truth. In Pakistan, we don't write the truth, we don't talk about it, and there are a lot of issues and challenges facing the industry. I wanted to write about what is there in the industry and be all inclusive. Include not only the people working in Synergy, but the industry people as such. They were also invited to write for it and write openly. The other publication would trying to do a PR exercise, and I was not interested in that because, as Javed Saab would point out, there were a lot of problems facing our industry. So we wrote that, and we wrote it wholeheartedly. We made a joke about ourselves, and there was a lot of things we did. There was a lot of backlash, but there was no problem in it.
Can I also ask you about your love for the word synergy? I mean, anybody who knows you can say that this is perhaps part of your motto, part of your vision, but everything has sort of, spinned out of it. There's syntax, there's synergy, there's synergizer, there's Brandsynario. So ये क्या माजरा है?
While studying in IBA, I came across this word, synergy, and it attracted me. In English word, there are not a lot of words which make you ponder, and I really wanted to be. Synergy means a lot of things. There's a verbal definition of it which is written down. To me, synergy means something else. Synergy means that I give you my strength, you give me your strength, I cover up your weaknesses, you cover up my weaknesses. Synergy means that getting in together, working together in harmony. Synergy means that together we can achieve greater things in life. Synergy means that 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. And there is, if you carefully evaluate things, then out there in the universe there is complete synergy. So synergy is the thing.
But do you see that synergy in the advertising industry in Pakistan?
No, there's no synergy at all in the advertising industry in Pakistan, because whatever you do here, in Javed Saab's time when he's talking about the Congress and all that, I've read about it, they were very, very far ahead. They did, I think one of the main advertising Congress was also held in Lahore. They were all together and they understood the cause was much bigger than personal growth. And they did that at that time, in 80s and 70s and much before that. But afterwards, there's a decline, as there was a decline in other sectors also. So we are not at par. We don't work together at all. Everybody is there for himself, and that's what the problem is. And hence, the synergizer was born out of this. And if you can see the magazine, a lot of people I've interviewed, they are from competing agencies, and even Brandsynario is like this. So I wanted to do my bit, and this is what I've learned from Javed Saab, that you can't even, and from my dad always, that you can't just look inward all the time. You have to contribute something to the society also, give back something to the system.
अच्छा, अहमद साहब एक बात बताएं, आपने जावेद साहब के साथ काम शुरू किया, you worked, with a number of agencies. आपने अपनी एजेंसी किस सोच के तहत बनाई थी या गुस्से में बनाई?
नहीं, गुस्से में बनाई थी।
गुस्से में बनाई थी।
गुस्से में ऐसी बनाई थी कि अगर आप नोट करें, if you know, from since 1980 till 2024, how many advertising agencies have come about during that period, which has come from scratch to this level, Synergy level. Only one agency, Synergy. It wasn't because of me, it was because of the massive difficulty in getting into the marketplace. Pakistan has become very difficult to operate here. I have a different reason, that's why I became successful. But गुस्से में ऐसे बनाई थी कि I had a lot of differences with the state. I called them the state. The state operating in Pakistan, they had different views. And whatever I created afterward was all the negativity which I encountered in my career, and I said to myself, I will do that. So this is one of the finest examples, Synergy is one of the finest examples of a startup. We started off with zero, absolute zero. And
but give me an example. A lot of people would want to know, इससे पता है आपकी journey का भी पता चलेगा. When you said that you learned a few things, you experienced a lot of things, and you wanted to do the absolute opposite in your own venture. तो क्या मुख्तलिफ किया?
I did many things differently. I took people along. For example, every Tuesday in 5 offices of Synergy, everywhere we have a LSE, which means Leadership Empowerment Committee. Everybody gathered in one room and we discuss, apart from advertising, we discuss anything else and everything else. You'll be surprised that the bathrooms are clean, properly clean, the gyms are properly clean, not a responsibility of a particular janitor, but somebody else. So it teaches them something about responsibility. So something.
The culture of responsibility.
Yeah, the culture of responsibility, the culture of inclusiveness, the culture of working together, which we don't see in Pakistan anymore. So मिलके काम करें, it's a very difficult task to, and considering आजकल की जो हालात हैं, so to ask them to work together. तो पाकिस्तान में तो, I'm sorry to use the word, दो कुत्ते गली में निकले होते हैं. So to bring them together to an ego. This is terrible. This has, I didn't see it before, but now the ego thing is killing.
So navigating egos will be the next book.
Yes, navigating ego will be the next book, because I also call it, we were discussing the factor of energy, how did I came to it, because I was also like this, but somehow nature taught me that whenever something goes wrong, you go inclusive, go inside and you see what is wrong in the situation, you reflect and you come up with something. So I created this terminology, I registered it also. It's known as energy, INNERGY.
This is very interesting because just the other day I was just saying that emotions, when we talk about it, it's energy in motion. And you're talking about the inner energy. मेरी बड़ी favorite saying हुआ करती थी since my days of debating at Saab, and it went something like, no matter what direction the wind blows, you can always adjust your sails to reach the destination. And I had it all wrong. Just recently I saw this reel where a 10-year-old was giving his response to this saying, and he said, yes, whatever happens in life, you can still move forward and not be depressed about it. It's like, no. What this saying actually means is you have very little control as to what is happening on the outside. But how you react to it or how you respond to it is something in your control. And I think that's the essence of energy as well.
The essence of energy is that instead of criticizing all the time the system, you think of what can you do to change the situation. So what I have done all the time is, for example, in my company, I have created a lot of systems. They are not Gora-oriented, बाहर से नहीं बोला है, यहाँ से create किए सारे. We have created a system of matrix, of so many different systems, जो कि आपने इसलिए किया है ताकि लोगों को आसानी पड़े और सिखाएं आपको. The reason Gora are ahead of us is because of one thing, they create systems. And that factor comes about when I tell my people, stop criticizing, stop crying, stop lamenting, this is wrong, think how you can change the situation.
अच्छा, अब अगर मैं Gen Z की बात करूँ, a lot of them may be in diapers when you started Synergizer, and you were trying to recap 20 years of Pakistani advertising and marketing. तो ये लोग ये किताब क्यों पढ़ें? Especially the youngsters. They'll turn around and say, oh, you did not even have digital marketing at that time. उस वक्त brands को एक अलग अंदाज में देखते थे. इस किताब की उनके लिए क्या relevance है?
पहले तो पढ़ना शुरू कर देना पड़ता है कौन है आजकल.
WhatsApp का मैसेज भी रेड पे छोड़ देते हैं.
आप क्या WhatsApp पे भेज दें. Gen Z, because Javed Saab would be saying, keep reading Javed Saab name because he's my mentor. He would be surprised to know that I write whatever I feel like and then do the same thing in front of the client. So I do that, I write the script, and script sometimes कह देना बड़ा आसान है. सच बोलना. But I belong to the industry and I think we should criticize ourselves all the time. So I criticize, I'm in the system, I criticize myself also, but I say it the way it is. So that one of the ways for them to learn is about the truth. Actually है क्या? वो जब तक learn नहीं करेंगे तो मालूम कैसे चलेगा? Because we are living in a fictitious world where everything is about the form. घड़ी कौन सी पहनी हुई है, गाड़ी कौन सी चला रहा है, कपड़े कैसे पहने हुए हैं, particularly Lahore and Punjab. Okay, but in here also, developing in Karachi also, so the concentration is on the form, and advertising is all about, should be combination of content and form. So the problem is that in Pakistan, the entire concentration is on the form. Gen Z is all about the form, the clothes, the brand, and everything else. And brand also, it comes out when the content is very strong. Apple is there because of the content, not because of the packaging and advertising. So this is what I feel should be done, and Gen Z should also be taught. One Gen Z sitting right here, we have an argument every night about something, so I need to understand her also of how they work, but they want instant gratification.
So the group is growing, mashallah, alhamdulillah, you're always hiring new people. आपकी टीम में से बहुत सारे लोग हैं, आप देखते हैं, very competent people, your family is also there. When you were hiring millennials 10 years ago and today when you're hiring Gen Z, सबसे ज़्यादा stark difference क्या है? What's the biggest difference?
Everybody wants instant money.
Is that a bad thing?
Huh?
Is that a bad thing?
Very bad thing, because I have learned from them that money comes, excellence should come first, money will follow. And I strive all my life for excellence. And Javed Sahab taught me indirectly. We had a lot of discussion by he didn't tell you, but probably you will remember. हम गाड़ी में जाते थे. I went to Central Jail. I went to visit him. I visited with him a lot of seminars, and I used to listen to him. And in the car, I used to ask him all sort of questions. And he used to say to me, "Excellence comes first, then everything follows. Money will follow excellence, not the other way around." So Pakistanis, they don't want to, I'm giving you the feedback as compared to the neighboring nation, and we discussed that, they recognize their weakness immediately. In Pakistan, nobody wants to admit it, that they are wrong, and they don't want to do anything about it.
Of course, the wisdom is that excellence comes first and then comes the money. But in Pakistan, bills come first, and you have to pay them as well. So money is equally important to them.
Yeah, but you need to, because the mentorship is not there anymore, because one of the biggest problem also is because you should equate it with the kind of leadership we have. The leadership has also gone bad, and this is what I try to keep my second in line. You have to tell them you need to develop and learn a way to harness their energy and teach the young crowd, the Gen Z. But the quality of leadership has also gone down. That's a challenging factor also.
I think 20 years of Synergizer, I'm sure so many profile interviews, conversations, debates, dialogues, interactions have happened. Some of your favorites would be, आपका पसंदीदा interview, profile, interaction that has been published in Synergizer?
I would call it, there was one issue which I completely drove. I did everything in it. It was the 2019 issue on media, and I wrote everything in it. Javed Sahab and all the advertising people know about it. I wrote about it, the level of corruption going on in the media industry right now. I wrote about it, and I did there everything in it, and also I asked the competing agency, the two people who are ruling the industry, to give interviews and ask them questions. But that's not the surprising part. I'll show it to you. It was completely sold out. When I went to the big wigs and I asked them, "Did you read the magazine?" None of them had read the magazine. None of them. So how can you change the mindset when people don't even read, and they don't even bother to read? So Javed Sahab example was, you will remember this, that he one day was driving and he said to me, "Garza, can I copy you?"
He does a very good mimic. Excellent imitation.
So regarding what was the headlines in Dawn today? So I said, I don't know. Why? This is the time. Did you sit on the pot? Yes. So you could have read the newspaper then. Lesson number one, always read. So I asked him, how do you do it? What time do you go to sleep? He says, I go to sleep at 2:30, 3 o'clock, but I always read. So his reading is.
But when do you get time to write? You're a very busy man. चले आप पढ़ने का तो आपको उन्होंने कहा तो you must be reading. When did you get time to write these editorial
The
pieces?
biggest strength which I have developed over the years is the art of delegation, which Pakistanis are far away from it. And I have acquired this over years of practice. So I delegate excellently, I delegate better than most. So even when you come over to my office, I will always take out time. So this is one part, so I get the time. And he also taught me that never ever say, I don't have the time.
I think these are very inspiring things, and especially when somebody of your stature, of your accomplishments can actually share that these are the principles I live by. But please tell me, for everyone there are highs and dips. One heartbreaking day, the most heartbreaking day for you as an advertising professional. कोई एक दिन जिसमें आपको लगा हो कि I also lost hope for a little time.
There have been a lot of days. I mean, I don't do anything else. I just work on one principle, which is merit. Okay, and I follow that goal. I don't indulge in any other thing. And there have been so many heartbreaking days because when you do that, and then you realize you didn't get the campaign because there was something else going on behind the scene. And some of my friends are sitting here. I seek their help, in finding out what is wrong. And wrong is that there was under the end dealings of different kinds. So there have been a lot of days like this. Was one bad day regarding not advertising. I was trying to create a brand. I launched a brand to chutney, and it was a fantastic brand, fantastic product, but I failed in that thing.
Chutney was a bad idea.
Chutney was a very good idea. The packaging was fantastic. The advertising was fabulous. Everything was work, but I missed a target which was distribution. I lost in that.
The fourth P. Place.
And now I can tell you that when somebody comes to me, I immediately ask the question, who are doing the distribution? Because in Pakistan, distribution is a very, very important factor. It's very difficult to distribute.
You mean distribution of power?
No, not only of power but distribution of product. You have to have some kind of a strategy because the distribution is a very tricky art.
I see you strictly keeping it apolitical, not talking about power, but I will still indulge you. मुझे बताएं कि if you were made governor for one day, what would you do and what would you change?
If you make me Prime Minister, I can tell you what I will do.
Okay, be the Prime Minister and then tell us.
I will line up all the people who I think are corrupt and I will just hang them. It will take me. It will take me 3 months to change the entire system.
Do we have enough trees?
I will do that.
You will get that done.
And there are people who can do that, but they are never in the forefront because corruption. One of the byproducts of corruption is that the people who have the merit, they never come up. So advertising is also part of this. Marketing is also part of it. Previously it wasn't the case, but now everything is corrupted.
But tell me one more thing. If I look back at the last 20 years of advertising, there were some very significant moments. I remember there was a time when everybody was debating that Pakistan does not have any role models. They don't have any influencers like at a massive level. And therefore we had started becoming so skewed that we were looking at the Bollywood actors, the Shah Rukh Khans and the Kareena Kapoors to actually endorse our products and brands in this territory. What was right or wrong about that? How did you react to it as an agency and as an advertiser?
It's actually quite sad because we have many heroes, but they are not projected as such. I met one of the heroes the other day. He came over to my office to make me the brand ambassador. Dr. Abdul Bari of Indus Hospital, and I heard his story, the amount of work he's doing. He's fantastic. For example, if you said I was the Prime Minister, I would immediately make Javed Sahab the Foreign Minister. I would have sent him to UNO, to New York, everywhere, because I heard people say that Obama speaks very well and Bill Clinton used to speak very well, but I've never heard somebody speak as well as Javed Sahab. So I would do that. It would be on merit.
That's so true. That's so true. I think everyone over here is simply agrees to that. लेकिन अगर सब एक और बात मुझे बताएं कि advertising for the sake of advertising. This is such a pressure. Like for example, जी ईद आ रही है तो ईद से related कुछ करना है. रमजान आया है तो हर brand ने एक दस्तरखान बिछाना है. 14 अगस्त आई है, force patriotism. Why do we feel so, not authentic, and we feel that we are being fake?
The problem is that in advertising, there's a problem with advertising agencies and on the other side also. I've been on the other side of the brand side. And when I went to the brand side, you would be surprised to know that I had 70% of an idea that these people are not very aware of what is going on. And within a week, I understood that they are clueless about advertising. So there's a problem is that both the sides are not aware of what is actually going on, and then they start off with something like this: why don't you take this model in the ad? And the advertising people, they cannot reply back with something concrete because both sides are not aware of the advertising management process. This is the main problem why our advertising is so bad.
Do you feel that our role models, the heroes, the celebrities, they can exploit that as well? Because they know that they're very few.
First comes the concept and the context. How can you start off with a celebrity, you say you want to add this person in the ad? You need to have the concept first, the context first, and the content first. That is the first thing you do. But here, the form start first, you put this model in there. It doesn't work like this.
MSR, we are thoroughly enjoying this conversation, but with the movement, I noticed that we're probably expecting the Honorable Governor to be joining us any minute. Any important word that you want to leave our audience with before we welcome the Honorable Governor?
No, I just want to thank all of you for coming here and for supporting us. So thank you very much for coming here, and I would like to especially, for the first time in my life, acknowledge publicly my wife who supported me throughout.
Thank you so much, MSR. It was a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the author himself, Mr. Ahmed Kapadia.